Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect. Back at it through the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. I came across this article, and the spirit led me to do a quick lesson about it. It says Georgia. Suspect caught during traffic stop over broken brake light. All right. Now the reason the spirit was upon me to talk about this, it goes into judgment and the importance of having fear towards Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashai, because we never know when judgment can happen. And of course, our people are very prideful, puffed up, and they think they've gotten away with their transgressions that the prophets of Yahweh Shem Shah are trying to teach the people to fix, all right, and repent from, because they right now they're not on a hospital bed for for a different reason, or they're not in the grave. Our people still remain in a very prideful, disrespectful spirit towards Yahweh Shem Shah and his servants, man. So I'm gonna bring out these precepts and filter this through the scriptures. This is Deuteronomy 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. Talking about Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And that is the point, that neither is there any that can deliver out my hand. And I was thinking about, and I have thought about this a long time when it comes to watching the crime shows, First 48, the forensic shows, and things like that, man. It's people who have committed heinous crimes, man, that don't get found out till years and years later, man. Sometimes 20, 30 years, man. But if Yahweh by Shema Shah wants you judged, then that is the whole point of the fear of Yahweh Shema Shah. There's nothing you're going to be able to do. You think you got away with something, and you get pulled over for a freaking brake light. What are the chances of that happening? I just got pulled over. Now, Lord willing, the Lord with me, and I kind of felt, the spirit as soon as I saw that police officer. Nothing came about it. The Lord was with me, but it did, put a reminder of fear, because, hey, man, judgment can happen at any time, man. That's why we try to offend less, man. But going into like people who sell drugs, man, if the Lord wants, like, and especially the northern kingdom, and with their cocaine and all that, they be moving in semi trucks, man. How do you really think, or what's the probability of them getting pulled over, man? All the freaking thousands and thousands of trucks that go up and down the highways, just so happen this police officer this day decides to pull this truck over for whatever reason, and then find tons of drugs in it, man. Well, this is Yahweh Bahashem Hawashai. A wise man would know these things, man. Now, it doesn't say that specifically right here. The Lord is going into how he kills and make alive, wound, and heals. But this also goes into any type of judgment if you can receive that. So, yes, the Lord is the one that arrests you. All right. He's the one that puts the spirit on these police officers to pull your behind over. And that is why we got to understand the power that the Lord holds, man. All right. And keep the fear, all right, towards Yahweh Shema Hawashah, so we won't get caught up in that, man. All right. And caught up in judgment. We're going to be chastised, but there's a difference between chastisement and judgment in relation to the Lord's hopeful elect in the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. So again, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. Only Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand, man. And this is definitely going into what we're prophesying, starting with Esau, Edom, and his destruction and his coming captivity. He can buck up against it. They can buck up against it, make up things, false accuse us of things, but it's not going to change the fact that they're not not going to be delivered from the Lord's hand. All right. Same thing with the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. These rebellious Israelites, man, judgment is going to come, and especially the judgment that's going to come in the midst of Jacob's trouble. All these things, the famine, the beast of the field, the tear, the sword, all right, the pestilences, the storms, all right. However the Lord wants to get you, he's going to get you, man. Our people remain puffed up, and I'll tell you exactly why. In Ecclesiastes, man, Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Starting with Esau, Edom, and our people who follow in that same type of, spirit and follow their doctrine and their rebellion. All right. Because they haven't got their issue yet, it's set in their heart to continue in their wickedness, especially our people, man, because, they see us and hear us, but because the Lord hasn't really brought that fire upon them, they think it's all good, whatever it is. We always go into the eating of abominable things, man, the dietary law, because they haven't, the Lord hasn't brought judgment. Obvious judgment, because there be little things that the Lord allow to happen, but they have a heart attack, or they're still able to get out their bed and go to work in the morning. They think it's all good to continue to eat these abominable things and try to change the law and the words of YAHAWASHI. So it's set in their heart to continue in it. But that is why we are here, all right, to combat this for the Lord's hopeful elect. All right, so we won't get caught up in that lackadaisical spirit, just playing around, and then boom, you get pulled over. And some brothers of our nation have got pulled over and have not seen the light of day since. You know what I mean? Out the jail cell, man. Since that day, all of a sudden just happened. But see, that's what I'm saying. It's not by chance, man, when these things happen, when you get pulled over by a police officer just out the blue. All these thousands of vehicles, man. Why did this police officer search these vehicles? And it happened all the time, every single day. Somebody's getting judged, man. Somebody's getting exposed, and I'm specifically just going into the whole getting pulled over thing, man. How many times do the Lord pull our young men over and they got a car full of guns and drugs and things like that, and boom, or they found out you got a warrant on you. You got to understand that is the spirit of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashai. I did a lesson when I was like when I first came into the truth, talking about how I came into the truth, and I mentioned I had got pulled over in my neighborhood, man. This is exactly what I'm talking about, man. I was on my way to school, community college at the time, and in my neighborhood, man. I've been living in this neighborhood since I was about 11 years old. And it was just a police officer just parked there. After it happened, after I gained some wisdom, I see now that the Lord, Yahawah Hashem Yahushua, had that police officer sitting there for my so-called black behind, man. He was sitting there waiting for me. I didn't know that. And I've never seen a police officer sit in that spot to this day, since I've been living in the neighborhood to this day, man. But yeah, I ended up getting pulled over for running a stop sign. Did one of those rolling stops, and I kind of stopped, but you see what I'm saying? This is the Lord. Now, sometimes, I'm in a subdivision. I'm not on the main street. I'm in the neighborhood in my subdivision. All right. And there's a police officer in there. I got pulled over. He pulled me the freak over. And guess what? I had a warrant out. And things got real bad, real fast, man, through the spirit and power of Yahawah Shema Shas. So guess what? That put a spirit of fear, upon me. Unfortunately, for 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they're not going to come to that realization that they need to fear the Lord and obey his law, statutes, and commandments, man. Let me bring that out in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. There it is, man. We got to fear. And if we do fear the Lord, guess what? We're going to be obedient to what he says, man. His law, statutes, and commandments. For men, hey, if you got the spirit upon you to receive this, you probably should be teaching. all right, one way or another. All right, women, you're supposed to be, getting in order. We're supposed to be coming out of Babylon the Great, coming out of these philosophies, all right, these lifestyles, this weirdo crap that's going on right now here amongst the earth, man. All right, but that is the whole duty of man, all right, is to fear Yahweh. And of course, again, that fear will lead you to obedience, man. But our people, just like, hey, man, just like I was being rebellious, and I'm not perfect at all right now, striving for, perfection. But that was when I was really, really in the world, man. So I was out there wilding out, and the Lord, hey, man, it was crazy. I mean, it was a huge, like, in my life, if my life was a movie, that would be like a what's it called? A huge a huge scene or whatever in my movie, man, when I saw that doggone police officer in my neighborhood just sitting there in front, you know what I mean? He's just sitting there and I'm looking right at him. And but the Lord, he'll put a spirit upon you just to make a little mistake, just so you can be judged, man. Look at what he did to Pharaoh, and it shows you that the Lord is in control of everything, your mind, all right, the things that you do. Okay, another testimony of the Lord controlling me, controlling people, being in control of all things. All right, when I was getting delivered out of the military, now I see that the Lord was delivering me out of the military. I didn't get kicked out, but I got kicked out, if you can receive that. And the last straw, how the Lord did it. Hey, when I was in the military, I was very young. I made some good money for a 17, 18-year-old, going on those deployments and having no children, no real responsibilities. So, we had our little money, and we used to, during that time I was wearing, real jewelry, man. So this last day, and this was the last straw, this is how I ended up getting delivered out of the military, man. Hey, the Lord put a spirit upon me to steal some cubic zirconium earrings, man. Now keep in mind, during the time I got a pocket full of money, and I got some real diamonds in my ear. And both of my ears got some real diamonds from Zales, and for some freaking reason, I don't win the PX with my homeboys. And this is, I'm very, very young. I'm young now, but I'm younger, very young man in my early 20s, maybe 20, 21, no older than 21. Yeah, man, I went up in the freaking store, tried to steal some freaking cubic zirconia earrings, man. I get out the store and here they come. Boom, boom, boom. And it was over from that point, man. That is a testimony, all right, of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. If not, what in the hell am I doing stealing fake earrings when I got a pocket full of, and that's what they said when they made me empty my pocket. I pull out a wad of cash. A wad of freaking cash with real diamonds in my ear. What would possess me to steal the fake earrings other than the will of the Father? It was the will of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashai that I did, that got in trouble, and it led me to being delivered and got me to the point that I'm at now. And this thing, that type of, the Lord, especially when you're one of his, sons or daughters, and he's chastising you to get you right. All right. It's going to be chastisement after chastisement after chastisement till you get it right, man. Hey, again, there's a difference between chastisement and judgment. You know what I mean? I didn't end up in prison or jail or anything. It was just simply, for me to get delivered out of that, particular situation, man. All right. But this is where our people at in Isaiah. All right. This is what they do. And this will be the last precept through the Spirit. If I can find it. My mind playing tricks. Isaiah chapter 30. Here it is. In verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, talking about the Hebrew Israelites, man, especially the so-called black people. Since I'm so-called black, I'm around my people a lot. All right. These people are rebellious, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Then I'll go down, which say to the seers. And who are the seers? The prophets, all right, the watchmen, the ones blessed to see these things before they happen upon the earth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashai, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, All right, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy the seeds. Our people like the smooth words from TD Jakes. Now look at them, exposed. You think this is a game? Exposed. And it's only gonna get worse, man. And them people not lying. Through the spirit, I feel like ain't nobody lying right now when it comes to the exposing what's going on in the doggone, I always say the industry. And I look at that as the industry as well, because it ain't nothing but smoke and mirrors. You know, them mega churches ain't nothing but smoke and mirrors. So it ain't nothing but entertainment. Because that's all our people want, is to be entertained and to feel good. They don't want to hear the nitty gritty, which will lead them to salvation, man. Just toughen up, especially for the men. They want to hear smooth things. They want to hear prosperity gospel. Look at it getting exposed, man. All right, the Lord said he was going to pour his spirit out upon all flesh in the last days. And guess what? All that stuff that's getting exposed and revealed, Dwight Howard, TD Jakes, Will and Jada, all this crap, this is it, man. And I feel like that through the spirit. You know, that's what's happening. Hey, people are telling it. People are running and telling that. All right. And that's the spirit of the Lord. All these things, the Lord said, whatever. All right. If you ain't serving the Lord, man, you know, and see the Lord, you know, hide, you know, your transgressions, you know, from the rest of the people. If you striving and repenting, all right, he'll keep your dirty laundry a secret. But if you're not, guess what? It'll get out there if you don't repent from it. And he's going to let the whole nation know exactly what you've been doing. You've been murdering. It's going to get exposed. Your adultery is going to get exposed. Thus saith YAHAWASHI. Lord say all of it's going to be brought to the light. And I, you know, through the spirit feel like that's what's happening with all these people saying these things, man. The people going through their divorces, it's just being shown Eve ain't right. You know, she be married to one of the richest men in the world, still leaving for whatever freaking reason, man. Eve ain't right. This is the spirit of the Lord being, you know, poured out upon all flesh to fulfill the will. You either gonna be wicked or you gonna be righteous. All right, or should I say you either gonna be righteous or be wicked. All right, and it will be exposed, man. So all we gotta do, all right, as the Lord's hopeful elect, and I pray to be a part of the Lord's hopeful elect, hey, is keep on fearing YAHAWASHI, which will lead to our obedience. Finish our work, all right, finish our lot, fulfill our lots, and Lord willing, we be just fine, and the Lord won't, you know, judge us, all right. And the Lord won't judge us, man. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear again to Yahawah, by Hashem, Yahawah Shai. And until next time, Shalom.